Greetings and namaste, divine infinite light beings. We are here because Spirit gave me a message, and I started with what they call the pre-shuffle, right? And I had picked up on the energy because Spirit is saying that you have a teenager, a adolescent in your energy, right? That wants control. They feel like you have control over their lives, which you are supposed to have control over their lives until they are out of your house, until they are capable of taking care of themselves on their own, right? But they feel like you have too much control. I got the energy of Janet Jackson. Control. Is my life something? Control. But I remember in that era, that is when Joe Jackson, so somebody's name could be Joe, somebody's last name could be Jackson. um when Joe Jackson wanted full control over Janet. Somebody's name could be Janet. You could know a Janet, or you could know a Joe, or you could know some Jacksons, right? But and we are in the full moon energy still. It's still potent. And some whoever this is may smoke weed. You may not like them to smoke weed. It's your child, right? You don't want them out there. But Spirit is saying it would be safe for your child to smoke weed in the home. You know, weed is recreational now. Weed is spiritual now. Weed, the truth has come out about weed. So if you have any kind of disagreement on weed, Spirit is saying you would rather your child smoke weed in the home, outside the home, in the backyard, somewhere safe, than getting the shit out on the streets, because they might not run across weed. They might get something else besides weed. So Spirit is saying take note of that, right? Because this shit is very important in this timeline, on this timeline, in this fucking lifetime, right? So you and your child is having a different perspective on things, right? Your perspective is not the same, right? So your perspective is totally different from your child's. Your child's perspective is totally different from yours, and that's understandable. Both of y'all can have the same and if you two parents, all of y'all can have the same perspective. I mean, different perspectives. And I'm getting that one parent is siding with the child and one parent is not. And then we have some parents that is not siding with the child, right? That's if you're in a two-parent home, right? But your child is rejecting your love, right? Because this is the witch heart in reverse. The witch heart stands for a divine caring person, right? That has a lot of love, right? And your child is rejecting your love. Your love right now is showing in the emotion of control, and so your child is rejecting that. And Spirit is saying, let your child step out and get a taste of what you're trying to guard your child from, because you cannot always guard your child. Your child has to eventually step out there and taste the shit on their own to see if they like the taste or they don't like the taste, right? To see if it's hot or if it's not hot enough, right? I'm getting peppers. Somebody could like peppers. Somebody could be of a ethnicity where you eat peppers in every day of the day. Somebody could like mint. Somebody could like oranges, right? We see a beehive, so somebody could be into the beehive of Beyonce, but somebody thinks that you are the head bee, right? And I'm seeing this as I don't know what I'm kind of like seeing this as a porridge, like, yeah, a porridge. Um, but they gotta taste it for themselves, right? They gotta get that taste upon their tongue to know that it's poison, poison, yeah, poison. So this might be behind a female, a male, they're going against you behind somebody they think that they love. That's poison. because I'm getting Beb Bib DeVoe. Somebody could be into Beb Bib DeVoe. Somebody could like New Edition. Somebody's name could be Ralph, um, Johnny, Bobby, Ricky, or Mike, right? If I love the girls, who care who you like, right? So they're like, they don't care that you don't care for who they like, whether it be um an intimate relationship or platonic, groups, whatever that you're trying to save them from. I gotta pause. Oh, I gotta get up. I gotta turn the bath water off. So I'm leaving it running because it's not ready. So you feel like your child is not ready to step out the door as of yet, right? You feel like you still need to touch your child, hold your child, keep your child in your hands, right? This is what Spirit is saying. But Spirit is saying, let they ass loose so they can taste that poison. Poison. That's not funny, but that's not why I'm laughing. I'm laughing because the way it's coming out, right? But yeah, Spirit is saying they need to step out and get touched. They gotta get touched. There's an evil eye that's lurking on them, and you know this, but they're not listening to you. This could be the lover, this could be the friend groups, this could be whoever got a hold on them, because somebody got a hold on them right now, right? Even though they're rooted in you, somebody else got a hold on them that's watching them as well. Um, yeah. They're watching them as well. Like they keeping a close eye on them. So this could be at school. This could be after school. This could be meeting up on weekends at the movies with the friends, whatever. However they, cheerleading practice, basketball practice, soccer practice. I'm getting tennis practice, some kind of practice they could go to. I'm getting Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts. But there is somebody that has touched them, even though they're rooted in you. This hand outside of you has come in and touched them, right? Because you see your roots, right? Your roots, and this right here is them, but this is the outside hand, right? So, and we already know that this room is highly blessed. We're divinely guided, securely protected, infinitely provided for, and highly loved by Spirit. I've been here all AM. This room is highly blessed. It's got a lot of properties flowing through, protective properties. Today is, though, Spirit would like me to mention, once again, I'll be fucking the camera up. The property for today on a Wednesday should be cinnamon, right? Um, and if you're ever by the Taj Mahal in Los Angeles, stop by and pick up some properties. Um, hey Rodney, if you're watching, I just be feeling your energy. So hey to you, sir. But this is cinnamon, and cinnamon brings in prosperity on Wednesdays, right? So this is a good property to burn on a Wednesday. Where is my lighter? Uh, Can't find my lighter. Well, like Spirit said. Oh, here it goes. But like Spirit said, we don't even need the properties because this room is highly blessed in this AM. Highly protected. But I love the smell. So we're going to light some incense, cinnamon, and bring in some high vibrations and love, unity up in this bitch. Ashay? And somebody's child has called them a bitch because of the way society allows the children to disrespect the parents in today. It's not the child. It's the influence. It's the influence of the internet. It's the influence of the outside people outside your house. It's the influence of the drugs. I'm not saying weed is a drug, but these children today are ahead of time. They're ahead of what we were in. We were just dabbling in hitting a J, right? We just wanted to peace and love, right? Hippie time, right? So that was that. But today it's fentanyl. It's this, it's that. It's mollies, it's poppies, it's this, that, and the other that our children are are dabbling in. And this is why Spirit said in the beginning that you would benefit more by allowing your child to smoke weed in the backyard if you don't agree than to um force your child to go out and adventure and find some shit you don't want them to find and get a bad taste of some fucking poison. So, it's up to you, right? But these people feel, your children feel bored within in your home up under your conditions. They feel like your conditions are truly controlling, right? Because you are that old school type of energy. You are that real down to earth, I'm gonna tell you the truth type of shit. I'm not finna sugarcoat no shit. I'm not finna take no sides type of shit. This is how it is. You under my roof, you gotta go abide by my rules, right? You under my roof, you gotta abide by my rules, right? I'm the head, right? And they don't see what you see. They don't see what you see. You being a divine infinite light being, you working and operating out of the energy of spirit, y'all perspectives is different because they're hanging around lower vibrational energy, right? When you go outside, when they go outside, you still have a hedge of protection over your child, but your child has their own choice to make their own decisions when they're not in the view of you, right? Thank you, Spirit. Yeah. And they be feeling like you be keeping them in solitude. And they be feeling lonely and withdrew from the outside world. But they gonna realize that that's just an illusion, right? That's just an illusion. They feel like you have excessive control. But that's just the love that you have for your child. And they're resisting the love. They're resisting the love. Because they control. Dun, 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 dun. Control, even though it could be some low vibrational cross watchers that do have excessive control and is abusing their control because they feel like because you feel like you're just they're just your child, and you can do that because it's your child and you should have all control. And Spirit is saying it's got to be a balance. It's got to be a balance, right? Because for some, this is specific for some, the cross watchers, they feel like you're inflexible. You got a big ego. Your power strength is just too much, right? You're too overbearing, right? So we got different energies. We got cross watchers and we got divine infinite light beings, right? But you starting to have a lack of faith in your child, right? Because your child is stepping out into the wilderness. You're trying to save your child from the wolves, but Little Red Riding Hood wanted to go off on her own, right? And she had to find out by herself. Little Blue Riding Hood was right on side of her, right? So we got the red pill and the blue pill Once again, that popped up yesterday. I don't know what that's for, what that's about, but it keeps showing up, right? Thank you, Spirit. Right. Long-term vision. They have a lack of long-term vision when you are trying to make sure that their long-term is secure. They not worried about their long-term, right? Because they've been touched by the group, the crowd, the love, the first time sex, the lower vibration. They've been touched by it. Even though you're trying to protect them, they don't want it because they don't see the long-term vision because they're still in their young mind, and they feel like you've hovered over them long enough. You've kept them sheltered long enough. It's been your way long enough. But they don't understand. You keeping them sheltered is what's kept them in line. Is what's kept them to be looked up as upright, held in a good statute, you having that protective coverance over them, you guiding them, right? But we all know that it comes a point in time where the child does not want to take the guidance of the parent anymore, and the child would rather take the influence. And it is what it is. And Spirit is saying, for those who are trying to hold on with a tight range, let them go. Let them taste it. Let them taste it.